Hello, this is Kai. You're watching the teardown disassembly video for iPad mini. So this is the iPad mini. Let's go over first go over some of the tools I'm going to be using. This is a heat gun. You're going to need a heat gun to soften the adhesive that's on the iPad mini. And dental pick, it will come in handy later. You're going to need a credit card or some kind of plastic card. Has to be flexible and relatively hard. A fine head ESD tweezer, anti-electrostatic tweezer, a Phillips screwdriver, and 2 suction cups. So first you started with the heat gun. It doesn't need to be too hot. And since the LCD LED connector on the iPad mini is down here, so what you want to do, you want to stay away from this region when you first try to pry the glass open. And focus on top over here. There's more adhesive on the upper region and lower region, so you're going to require more heat in those regions. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to pry open a little bit of space over here on this corner. And then slide the credit card in, and pry my way, work with heat gun throughout the region and all the way down to the bottom, open the iPad this way. So once you heat up the device, you put your suction cup on both sides. This is my favorite method. And you just twist it around. Twist around the suction cup to the very edge. And it'll get loose. See that? It's very easy to open a gap in iPad just with the suction cup. And once you have that gap, you can have someone else help you, or you can use your mouth, hold the credit card, and insert it this way. And in this case, you can just put it in this way because it's already open. And once you insert a credit card, everything else will be relatively easy. Just move your suction cup accordingly and heat out the device as you need to. Here, so holding the back. What you want to be careful is you don't want the credit card to get like the glue onto this digitizer glass on the back. This is hard to clean, so you want to try to keep the credit card within the black area. But if you do get some glue like here on the digital pad, it's okay. You could just wipe it out clean with alcohol. So since the top has a lot of more adhesive underneath, what I want to do now is I want to heat up a little bit again. So you just keep repeating this process. You heat up the region that you're working on, and then you use the suction cup to secure it. Then you can use the credit card to pry it slowly, pry open as such. You should just slide right through. See? And if you hit resistance, you slow down and you apply the heat gun again. As long as you don't keep the heat gun in the same region, you don't put it too close, maybe like 1 centimeter to 2 centimeter will be ideal distance. And as long as you don't hold it in the same spot for more than 2 seconds, it's very difficult for you to damage your iPad or the LCD screen underneath with the heat gun method. See, once the heat gun goes through, this area is loose, then you can just slide it through. You have to be careful though, once you get to the... This is a clean side of the credit card now. Once you get to the camera, you want to be careful and not to get the camera dirty or damage the camera. So just slide it down like that, as such. And here should be easy because the corner has less adhesive. And just go all the way down. I don't really like to use a metal knife because metal knife can really damage the plastic frame, little frame that you see, and also it can scratch the LCD glass if you intend to keep the glass. Unless the glass is broken, then it will probably be easier using a metal prying tool, but I prefer to use a credit card because it's just much cheaper and easily accessible. And you don't have to worry about damaging your digitizer from the back because the metal prying tool could scratch the part. So let's see. Make sure this is not part. Out of the screen. Be very careful when you peel this down, when you peel this open. I'm gonna try not to damage any of the, even with the attaching frame. Since I heated up before, this glass is still hot, so it peels open pretty easily. Okay, so over here, you wanna be very, like as you can see, you wanna be very careful. Let me zoom in for you. See that? See this region? Okay. So what you see here is I have the suction cup in the back here, holding it up, and have the other suction cup over here on the other side, so you can see like a really nice angle. It's like an open book right now. Okay, so this is the digitizer. This is the home button. Button is on the digitizer itself, and the home button. I'll remove this area later once the digitizer is being separated and we'll examine it afterwards. But right now there's a ribbon cable, the flat ribbon cable from the digitizer and the home button track connected to here. It's a very fragile over here. It's just a regular, it's no thicker than a piece of paper or like the electric. It's not thicker or less structurally structurally resistant to tear than electric tape. So this is the same thing as electric tape. You really easy to damage it. You don't want to damage it. And also over here there is a rare earth magnet. That's if I just slide my screwdriver loose, it will get stuck over here. Okay, so there's a rare earth magnet over here. Okay, so and in order to move the in order to move the glass digitizer, you must remove the 4 screws, corner screws on the LCD LED screen first. So I'm gonna do that now. You have to remove these 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. But before I start, I'm gonna put on some gloves because I don't want my hand. My hand has oils on it and sweat. You don't want to get on the glass as you walk. Also, my hand can also discharge electric shock. So what you want to do, you want to touch some kind of metal surface, like a large metal heatsink, or if you have a grounding unit, you could touch the ground unit. And or the best thing to do is if your electric circuit in your house or in the place you're walking has a dirt-pong ground unit set up, what you can do is you can plug in a used computer or just something that you don't need, like a computer power supply. So what you do is you plug in the power supply cable into the power outlet in your house, assuming your circuitry in the house, like the electric circuits are grounded, there's a ground, it goes somewhere. So the electric circuit pong has 3 pongs, right? 1, 2, you get the alternate current, and the third one is the ground. So when you plug in your computer power supply, the entire power supply box on the outside, the metallic part, is linked to the third grounding pong. So when you touch the power supply while it's plugged into the wall without actually turning on the power supply, obviously, just by itself, you're grounding yourself. So that's a really cheap way and easily accessible to, instead of paying like $50, getting like a anti-static grounding machine, grounding device, or having an anti-static anti-electric strap. That has to go on somewhere. It has to go on the ground, right? So you still need to link that part to somewhere, or you could just you can get a strap and for like maybe $2 to $10, depending where you buy it. You can link that to the power supply that's plugged into the wall, and just touch the outside case of the power supply. So enough of that. Let me go get my gloves and we will continue. Okay, so I got my gloves. Welcome back. You're watching the iPad mini being teared down, disassembled. So today I'm gonna go all the way down to the logic board as always. So before I continue and take the screen, I want you to see how the credit card is so much better than the metal plunger, in my opinion, and how none of this is being damaged. Give you a detailed view of the case. Actually, unlike other iPads, like iPad 2, iPad 3, iPad 4, iPad mini doesn't seem to have iPad mini doesn't seem to have a metal frame, like a single frame outside. It's just the case and the glass. So as you can see, since I use like soft plastic credit card to pry, it's impossible for you to damage or scratch any of these components, any of the frames, and any of the wires, ribbon cables, if you're careful. See, no scratches. The frame looks as new, and when you put it back, you can't even tell that this iPad was ever opened. So yeah, I really like these suction cups. You need at least 2 of them. 3 will be even better. So 1 in the front, 1 in the back, and just twist motion pull. Once you open the little gap, slide the credit card in between and start doing your credit card prying. Use heat gun whenever appropriate. Okay, enough of that. Let me start taking out the screws and getting inside the iPad. Okay. So this, like I said before, in order to separate the glass digitizer, there's a ribbon cable underneath. I want to get the 4 corner screws out first. So there's one screw over here underneath a little protective film. I guess it's there to hide the screw. Apple like to do that because they don't want you to do any kind of modification or repair of their product. I sometimes wonder if that's counterproductive for Apple. Instead of just designing newer and make better product, I mean, I love Apple product, I'm not complaining, but I'm just wondering if they will probably make more money and save more money if they just focus more on making better and newer products instead of spending time making the design of the iPad or whatever device they make nowadays in redundant parts design. For example, these phone pads, they are redundant part. It's not needed for the iPad to function, and the only existence is to hide the screws. So that will drive out the cost of the manufacturing chain line. This is an extra procedure for the workers to do, and I don't think that's very productive for the worker. Okay, so these 4 screws are all the same as far as I can tell. See, those 3 is the same size, and the 4th one should also be the same. But by the way, this is my first time opening iPad mini, so I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. And the only thing I know before I start this repair is that there's a cable over here. So that's all I know. But that's kind of obvious because the iPad always have something down here. Doesn't matter which generation. Alright, so all 4 screws are being removed. Since this is my first time opening iPad mini, you're in just as much a surprise as I am. As if you're watching this for the first time. Okay, so since the cable is down here, I want to remove the screen this way up. So I normally have like a plastic prior to. We sell these, but I'm in at the location right now. I don't have one, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use what I have. I have a credit card, so which is pretty much the same thing, unless you start heating it up, because those metal prying tools are really designed for soldering, not really for this kind of stuff. So let me just slide this down, try to get the screen up. Okay, see, credit card is very useful. And as I can feel, like there are some adhesive on the side. Actually, it's more like a clip on the side. So all you need to do is just starting from the top and slide the credit card in slowly, gently, and just slide down as such. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit for you. Okay, so slide down as such, and until you hear like click from the side. Okay, and you lift the screen up this way, and let's see what's inside. What's on the inside? I wonder what this is. Let me remove this pop here so I could see what's going on. There's a piece of tape over here. Film, see? Okay, so that's removed. Let's get the screen up. Ooh. Something is holding it down. Alright, so what is it? Something over here. Some tape. Peel it off. Okay, so before you pry this screen upward all the way, the tape down here, you want to first pull it this way, separate them. There's tape on both sides, and be very gentle. After that, you can start moving this screen upwards. And those tape doesn't seem to be the actual connector. Okay, so once you do it, you did it so far. Let me zoom in and show you. See if you can get it from this angle. Alright, see? So this is the back side of the screen, iPad mini screen. By the way, this is not a Retina screen, this is the same screen or similar resolution as iPad 2. It's a similar technology. And so this is your, I guess it's not really the inverter board, because I know the backlight track is on the logic board itself. So the inverter itself is on the logic board. So this is just a signal board for the screen, and this is where the ribbon cable goes down, and then to the logic board is right here, I guess. It's over here. So unlike iPad 3, iPad 2, and iPad 4, normally larger board will be on the right side of the mini, when it's facing you. This in iPad mini, right side of the iPad, in iPad 2, iPad 1, iPad 4, iPad 3. The larger board normally is on the right side of the iPad, but in iPad mini, it's on the left side of the iPad mini. Okay, so let's zoom out. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. So there is 16 screws. Yeah, the 16 screws on this metallic cover, or I mean, the purpose of the metallic cover right here is to ground the unit between the screen and the larger board and the batteries. It's a Faraday's cage concept to block out electricity discharge from on top and below the iPad. But these screws, another example that Apple is making their devices and or they're designing it more difficult for people to fix. For example, like my screwdriver here is too big. It can't take these screws out unless I use those small screwdrivers, so let me go get those. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so I'm back. So yeah, like I was saying, there's 16 screws, 8 on each side. Apple made it so like if you have a utility screwdriver like this, you can't use it because they give you such a small space, tight spot to use. You really need a screwdriver that looks like rounding instead of having like parts on the side that will block your work. Oh wait, actually, let me just go back and get the screwdriver. I got the wrong screwdriver. Okay, luckily I have 2 spare extra screwdriver lying around. Yeah, this is I have like at least like 1,000 of these, but I only have 2 where I am right now. I'm not at the shop where I put all the merchandise at, so yeah, I only have 1. So lucky me, I got 1. So basically, I'm good. Again, these screws, annoying. They don't need this many screws. It's really just there to make this job harder. I don't get it. I mean, these has to be screwed on manually by someone. That just means that they had to pay someone more for each iPad mini they sell to screw this on. And how many people are actually gonna take the iPad apart? I don't think it's very productive, the way they design the iPad. And I mean, it's just not, it's counterproductive. They can save so much more money and make the labor cost easy if they just design the product to be user friendly. I mean, it was up to me. I mean, this is a great design and all, but if it was up to me, I'll probably make the iPad without all those ribbon connectors and FPC connectors or all the screws. Because technically you can just have everything stacked on top of each other. You can make a iPad with connections without any actually connectors. You know what I mean? It's like you know how when you have like the iPad 2, for example, you have the iPad 2 home button. You know how it is it is two metal part rod, like the metal plate I could just stack on top of each other. They really should do that with the iPad devices or any stuff that's coming out. That's just my opinion. I think that design is much brilliant. It's easy to clean, it's easy to fix, and by the way, on the side of the case has like those rare earth magnets. So when I take these screws, it gets sucked into the magnet. Yeah, they just take a tweezer and pick it up. Because unless you have a really strong magnet that's bigger than the one that they have on the case, then you might be able to suck it out. But I'm just gonna use a tweezer, it's easier. So right now I'm just taking all the screws off without taking them off because they're gonna get sucked onto the side of the frame anyway. I will show you very quick after I'm done with this. I'll show you where those magnets are at, what I'm talking about. So yeah, this entire process is just Apple being evil. Whoever designed this being a little bit naughty. Alright, so you see that? I removed all these screws. See that? Screws. They removed, but there are magnets on the side of the case. Magnets, 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 magnets. And on the other side, I guess there's no magnets. Yeah. There's no magnets on the other side until the very end. Down there's a magnet, remember? I'll show you before. And the corners. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll get down later. I'll get down to the corner later. Now let's continue. Take all the screws out. We got stuck on the magnet. Okay. Now after I remove all the screws, I can take this metal plate up and just take it off. That's it. Just a single side, well, simple metal plate. You can put this away. Now let's look at the interior of the iPad mini. As we can see, it has a huge battery. This is probably 85% of the entire room in here. It's not very thick. It's a very thin lithium battery. Oh, by the way, I saw some videos that they tear the battery into pieces. Please don't do that. This is toxic. When you peel these things open, toxic gas comes out, and you're gonna get lung cancer and all the other weird asthmas and a lot of lung institutional problem you don't want to have. So stay away from lithium battery. If it's broken, make sure you're doing this, changing the battery in a well ventilated area, and do not peel these open. Bad idea, don't do it. Just don't do it at home. Do it outside, it's fine. Just do it somewhere that's well ventilated, with a hood maybe, preferably. Alright, so there's a little metal shell over here as well, and there's 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. So let's take those off too. And see all the screws over here, they're all different, and they're simply, now I want to keep these screws somewhere else because they're different size. So okay, you want to be careful with these screws, you don't want to break it, so you have to first make it loose without actually twisting on it too much, and then after that it will be okay. Okay, so this is where the connector for the glass with touch screen, the digitizer glass, and the LCD, and even the battery. How about that? Huh. So I get to see the battery as well. Alright, so let's remove the battery first, because that's what I see first. What you want to do is you want to be very careful over here. I don't know if you can see. If you use like a metal tweezer or something, you're going to be very, very gentle, because I see some resistors over here and the capacitor. They're really small. These stuff are 0.7 to 0.8 millimeters in size, so you barely see them. And if you try to pry this open like this, you can easily damage these. And I can only imagine if you do damage these capacitors and resistors, a larger ball won't charge. So you can either use your finger. I think this mechanism is a lifting up switch. It goes up. So you can either use your fingers very gently because it comes out very easy, and you can just like pick it up. Or you could use a credit card or soft plunger tool. But I prefer use your fingernails because you can control how much force you're using on it, and without like. And you can also feel the resistance when you're pressing on, for example, these little teeny capacitors and resistors. You want to be very careful. It's only on this side, but you want to be very careful because they're right next to the battery connector. Well. Okay, so that's the battery connector. So now the battery is being disconnected. This is the LCD connector. So let's take the LCD connector off. It also has bunch of filters and resistor and fuse capacitor next to it. Again, it's another switch that you just lift it up. They all press down 90-degree angle connectors, so you just up and use your nails. Don't use a tweezer because that just all this little stuff. If you use a tweezer like a metal one, you're probably gonna break them off, especially if it was water damaged. Very careful. Okay, you can, however, use your tweezer to take these kind of stuff off. Like, be careful though. Like these kind of tape, it just tape stuff down. It's annoying. Gets in the way. And this one, I'm gonna use the tweezer because I'm just gonna be very careful. Because my fingernail can reach that small distance. So I'm gonna go from the side where there are no connector, no little parts next to it. And then once the connector's out, you can move it with your finger. And this is taped, so you just want to pry it up a little bit. Like this area, you see it? This area, it was taped onto this part. This is a ground. This is probably grounding. It's metallic, so it's conductive to here, and this is probably ground for the cable. And I think that's the touch screen. So now, at least the LCD screen can be removed now, because everything's being removed. Something's still holding it on. Okay, so let's put the screen down again. I think these are tape onto the screen, and so there's a better way to do this without breaking the tape. Yeah, I could peel it off. It's just tape. You can cut this probably, so I'm gonna peel it off. Just in case. It's just tape, guys. Yeah, see? It's tape. Oh, it's blurry color. Why is it blurry? Focus. Alright, so this was tape. There's tape down here, and there's tape down here. You can peel it off from top or button and do this side. On this side you can do either side, but this side you can only peel it off on the top. Okay, so let's carry on. So this is the LCD screen from iPad mini. Zoom out. iPad mini. It's very thin because it doesn't have the metal cover that comes with other iPad. So put this screen somewhere secure, where you're working. Okay, so let's review. I have removed the LCD, and now I'm gonna attempt to remove the touchscreen. So what happened here with the touchscreen is, let me zoom in for you. So you can see this cable. So I'm working in this region now. This cable comes from the touch digitizer, and this board, this circuit board over here, it's part of the cable. And the circuit board also comes with like a fat ribbon over here, and it's connected to here. This connector looks similar to iPhone 4 and iPhone 4S touch connector. I'm gonna have to look on the microscope to check if they're the same, but they look similar. They're definitely from the same manufacturer for the connector. And this, I don't. Oh yeah, this what's underneath the. So this usually is part of the larger board, but in iPad Mini, this become part of the screen. This two IC inside is for touch function. It's usually part of the larger board for iPad 2 and iPad 3 and iPad 4. So, okay, so this board you want to remove it. You want to do it really gently. I think the best way to do this is to stick a credit card in on this side. Okay, inside here. Just put a corner in and pry it up. You may want to use heat gun. I don't know. Let me try to do it without heat gun and see how that goes. So just soften it up a little bit. Yeah, you probably want to use heat gun just to heat it up a little bit. But I think it can be pry up without it. I'll try. Yeah, you could do it without the heat gun, but you should use it. Okay, see? I see. Interesting. It's interesting. Okay, so this is what's underneath. It has adhesive. Okay. So it's a little bit of tape down here. Right now, so I have removed the battery, the LCD, and now you can remove the digitizer without any worry. Because I just need to get this glue off. It's still sticky. Okay, so this is a digitizer from, let me zoom out, from iPad Mini. And we'll come back to the home button, see if the home button can be removed. I mean, it has to be able to, so it's right over here, it has a tape, so I'll come back to this once we remove the larger board. Okay, so this is the touch screen. No damaged. This is just, this is a piece of tape. Okay, so far so good. Let's continue. Again, you want to put this digitizer to somewhere safe, just like the LCD. Someplace secure. Alright, so let's continue. So next thing I can remove is the larger board. There's two Wi-Fi connector I can see, because this model is a Wi-Fi model, it's not 3G. I don't know where the 3G board will be at, but it's not here. It's probably at this region. That's with only space left for the 3G to be at. Okay, so yeah. Okay, this looks like the speaker, and I think the connector is coming from here. It's linked to the dock connector and goes in here, goes on the board. I believe the dock connector is actually taped onto the board. Oh, that's odd. So the dock connector, I might have to remove the lightning dock connector because it's taped onto the board. So before I do that, I'm just get these off as the Wi-Fi signal cable. You lift them up and be very careful. Use a really fine. Just slide something underneath and then pry up with. Tweezer works great for this. Okay. And yep. I don't see that the larger board is being screwed on, so it is unfortunately the larger board seems to be taped on. Okay, so let me just remove all the connectors from larger board now. This is a connector over here, hiding under the tape. Whoa, this is a very fragile one. Alright, this is the hold button, volume button, and just hold button and volume button. There's a ribbon over here. Let's be very careful here because I remember this on iPad 4 is very fragile. Alright, so take this out. So that's a ribbon cable for the hold button, hold, and volume button. And this connector we seen before in the previous review, iPad 4. Very fragile connector. Remember this backflip mechanism? So fragile. Be very careful with it. Alright, the only screw I can see on this logic board is this one. It's holding the power button in the camera. Actually, you know what? This connector and this ribbon go all the way up here. Volume buttons, hold buttons, and power button. This part over here is just the back camera. Alright, so let's remove the screw and see what's underneath the heat seal. Put the screw somewhere safe. And remove the camera connector. It's another up switch. So I'm removing the back camera now. Hold on. I think it might be glued on. Yeah, let me see from the back. Interesting. So that's new. Yeah, I think the back camera is glued on. Well, you can't really replace the back camera unless you heat it up, heat gun, and plug it off. Since I don't have a replacement back camera, I don't want to try to do that. So I'm just gonna keep this cable somewhere safe right now and tag it away. Tug it away. So yeah, it seems to be glue on. You're gonna have a hard time changing this. It's doable. It's just epoxy. See this black stuff? It's just epoxy. You can probably heat it up, heat gun, and then just plug it off. Unless I'm wrong. But that's why it seems to be. Okay, I want to get to the logic board, so I'm gonna keep on going. Logic board ends here, so I'm gonna have to remove those part as well. See what's underneath the magic tape. Black tape. What do you have hiding down there? More tape. Yeah. More tape. Yeah, iPad mini is not gonna be an easy one to do the repair. Oh. Another tape in disguise. They make it really hard. Another connector of weird mechanism. So maybe zooming will be better. Alright, so weird thing. I have first time seeing this. So this connector is down, right? Instead of just being taped down, you see how this is grounding area. It's metallic. And this is the grounding mechanism. It was taped on top of this. So and it has like a little metal part exposed over here and makes you think it's part of the connector. So if you really try to peel this open before you open these, like this, like left and right, you try to peel this up with this on top, you can't. You can cut these, but they're not very easy to cut. They're kind of relatively thick. It's not this kind of quality of tape over here. This is actually metal mush. And if you do that too much, all this stuff is gonna get damaged and destroyed, including the connector over here. And this connector is to the phone camera. Phone camera doesn't have any screw holding it. It can be slide off as such. So I'm not gonna do it, but as you can see, it can be slide out. You just have to. This thing comes out though. this part. Okay, so you can move this plastic part up, and then the camera is underneath. So you put the camera down first, and then you secure with this matte plastic. Is it plastic? Yeah, it's plastic. Okay, so next, this will be the battery. The what's it called? Audio jack and same mechanism. You remove the top tape. Oh, you're not seeing it. So you remove this tape first, this tape on top, and you remove that the away. And you peel this two open. Yeah, you really need a nice tweezer for this repair, or this disassembly. I don't know how to do this without a tweezer. You can do this by hand. Once you get to this point, you can just flip it up. That's it. So this is as far as I need to go in order to free the logic board. This is the end of the logic board, as you can see. And I don't see any screws on it, so that just means the only way for me to get this off is to pry it up. There's glue underneath. So alright, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hold this up. See the logic board? You see the logic board here? I'm gonna hold this up. I'm gonna put heat gun from the back. I'm gonna heat the metal part and avoiding the battery region. Just heat the metal from the back. And then I'm gonna slide my credit card down this way and pry it open this way. I'm gonna free up this space first and then go down, slide downwards and downward and downward. I'm pretty sure the dot connector ribbon cable, it's glue, it's solder or glue, it's a type of glue that's conductive. So it's solder / glue onto the motherboard, the logic board. I finally get to say motherboard again. Yay! Alright. But anyway, it's glue solder onto the logic board. So you want to do it from the top if you want to remove this logic board. Okay. So heat gun. Actually, before I start heating with heat gun, before I start doing that, let's just have a perspective a little bit. I'm gonna work on this area first and then remove all the tape and see what's underneath before I start with the heat gun blast. So there's a big tape, you can just remove it carefully. Try not to rip it apart like I just did. I mean, it's still a nice tape. This was part of the tape that was taping the LCD screen. And you probably want to put this thing back because it has this metal part exposed. And this is to insulate it. The purpose of this tape is to insulate these metal exposed part. Again, I really don't know why Apple do this. Again, it's probably just that this is just there. And this metal part is just to prevent you from doing this kind of repair or taking it apart. So this is the Wi-Fi connector cable. One of them. There's 2 screws over here to get 4 screws to get the lightning connector off. So let's get the big one first. See what happens after that. Get the lightning connector off. I'm gonna put it in here. Lightning connector. Okay. Oh, be careful with these connectors. It has little rims. Okay, so I'm gonna be really careful with these. Here's a tweezer. It has little washers. And these washers. Okay, so be very careful. There's 2 screws that goes on the lightning connector. They are not conductive. I can already see that this screw is designed. Okay, this side is conductive. This side of the screw on top is conductive. No coating. On the other side, it has the plastic washer. It has the insulating washer. Alright, see? It has a plastic washer that's on top of the screw, and this part of the screw is also having like a coating, non-conductive coating on top to prevent it to be conductive against the lower region. It's very strange design. Again, it's probably just there to make this repair difficult. Alright, so let's see if this comes out easy after this removal. It doesn't, so that means you have to you need to oh, you didn't see that. That means you have to remove those two screws over here. So let's get rid of those as well. By the way, this is the antenna. There's two Wi-Fi antenna, one over here and one over here. These two are the Wi-Fi antenna. Each of them has, this one has 3 screws holding it down. This side has 4 screws holding it down. And as you can see here, there's 2 separate Wi-Fi antenna, which is interesting. This is the first time iPad has 2 separate Wi-Fi antennas. A bit redundant, I think. Okay, so this screw is also out. One of them. I put it together with the big one. It's not gonna be easy to put this back, isn't it? I'm gonna give a really low score for iPad mini is it's a lot more steps than iPad 4 in my opinion. Harder to get it out. I might have to remove this as well. It's coming in the way. Okay, let me see if I can get the lightning connector off now. Everything is moved. Let's see if that works. Nope. Oh. Give me 1 second. I think there might be more screws going on. Sneaky. You know, I knew it. My intuition is always very good with this kind of stuff. Alright, so they have, Apple really went to town with this. They have little plastic cover over here. This is like, I feel like I'm taking an HP laptop apart with all this stuff going on. You have plastic cover over here to hide the screw under here. So what you want to do is you want to get these off, and it shows you the screw underneath, and then you want to unscrew those screws. There's 2 of them on each side. See that? Plastic piece that's in the way. And just, come on, get out. Come on. So come out, just like that. Okay? See that? 2 screws. 1 screw over here, 1 screw over here. And they were both covered up like this. Sneaky. But not too difficult. It's not like they solder the screw in place, you know. That could be even more annoying. As I see some electronics, they literally solder the screw in. I'll put it in. Take these screws out. Yeah, they're Phillips screws, so this should work. I wish I have a nicer screwdriver. This thing's so small. It's not long enough, but it's nice though. It works. Okay, so this 1 screw out now from the inside. So I'm gonna put together again. Oh shit, drop this. I don't want to miss this. I don't have a plastic washer right now to replace it. So I'm gonna try to get it. And I'll use this washer. Put it together. Okay. Alright, so last screw over here on this side. You just want to make sure the initial first 2 turns when the screw is loose, so you get that. And the rest would be just very easy. And as always, you need so you have screw over here, and you need a tweezer once it's loose to get it out. It's in a very tight spot. A lot of other stuff going on. Alright, so this one's out as well. It goes in like this. Okay, so now the lightning connector should come out easy. Okay, maybe not easy. I shouldn't say that. It'll come out. Get this antenna cable up a little bit out of the way. Come on. Any more screws? I thought that was it. Try again the tweezer. I think it's taped down. Yep, taped down. So let me just release it with a credit card. And okay, so now it's loose. Oh wow. Is that tape? Looks like tape. No, it's not tape. It's just okay. So once you're done with all that, let's see. Okay, so the lightning connector is loose, but okay, I guess I have to take all these apart and take the speaker out as well if I want to get the connector off. So let me just zoom out. You don't know, you can see what I'm doing right now. I just took a nice picture of it. Okay, so there's two parts over here that's blocking my view. I'm blocking the lightning connector from sliding out. I was starting to think maybe I shouldn't take this out, it's just so much work. But too late, I already started it. This is the speaker, this is the Wi-Fi cable. I want to get the speaker out, I think. Yeah. Because they're blocking the way. I don't know if I can bend this. Maybe I can. They wouldn't be blocking the way. Oops. Yeah, I could just bend it up. I probably don't want to do this too often though, because if you do that too often, you might damage it when you bend it down. You can always solder it back in place if you want to. Alright, so the lightning connector comes out. Easy now. Before I do that, you really should loosen this part of the cable first from being glued onto the back. Okay. This way you have more room to maneuver it, and just peel it off on the larger from the back frame very easy, like very gently. And try to not damage this these electric conductive cloth as much as you can. You don't want, they're still useful, you don't want to damage them, they do something. They do ground the larger board. Alright, so now I can't see anything else that's holding down the larger board except glue. I'm gonna try to slide the credit card, see what happens. I don't see any obvious location for it. Maybe here, ironically. This is the only spot I can see that's not gonna affect the battery. Potentially you can slide in the credit card. I'm gonna have to heat this up with a heat gun. But I wanna know if I can use this area too. fire up. Not. Let's try a heat gun first. Just want to back up a little bit. Here I'm just heating this region. It's the same concept when you do the glass. Okay, I think it's hot enough. Let's try again. Yep, it's working. Be very careful because the cable's down here. I want to back the cable. Yep, there we go. It's in. Now I just slide it. Slide. Slide the logic board. And this area is kind of tricky because it has a low angle, but if you're just gentle and patient, then it comes off. See? And get all this cloth, metal cloth to be like ground. Let me just separate out this because I want to reuse this. These cloths are getting very popular in a lot of devices. Like Kindle Fire has it too, and Kindle Light. It's metallic cloth. Provide good grounding from the logic board. See, this is what I'm talking about. Instead of having all that connectors, they could just make the logic board looks like this, and then you just end up to have to sandwich the board on top of each other. Okay, so far, okay, basically this is the iPad mini's logic board. I kind of like it. I think the design, aside from this part that it's soldered on to the logic board, or glue onto the logic board. Like the dock connector, I don't think you can. So if your dock connector gets bad, well, the only thing you can do is you can either solder it here, which is possible. You can use the Z-axis tape that I have in my web store. If you have the cable and you just tape on top of each other, on top of it, and then that does the solder. It's basically electroconductive tape, but it only conducts through the Z-axis. It doesn't go like diagonally, horizontally. It only goes vertically. So whatever pin you have on top, whatever pin you have on below, and you put the tape in between. If you align those two pins on top and below, electricity goes through straight down. So you can solder this, but not like hot solder. Cold solder is tape, adhesive. Or you could do hot solder on the lightning connector, and you can solder. If this ever goes bad or you break it for whatever reason, you can actually solder this connector. If you have the replacement part on this part, you can solder it off on this ribbon cable and solder it back on. See, there's solder joints and pins. It's not that difficult because if you use the quick alloy I have on my web store, it's a low melting alloy. Once you solder this thing off, the new one can be put on relatively easy. Not simple though, but it's not all that difficult either. So yeah, it's repairable, and it's amazing how small this logic board is. The entire thing is just a circuit board with a giant heatsink over here, a heat. And let's open this and see what's in here. Okay, so remember the dental pick? We almost didn't use this. So this is where you use the dental pick to pick open these switch one by one. You see how this has a little indentation? So this is where it's going. It's the clip that clip in. So all you need to do is unlock these indentations one by one until you get a good hold, and then you can peel it open. And as long as you stay out of the Faraday's cage or the this outside frame, you are safe from not damaging the logic board components, because nothing from almost stabbed myself. Nothing inside it's exposed to the frame. So I really should take this tape off, because I don't like to have surprises. So let's get this off first and see what I'm dealing with. Okay, so this gap on this heatsink is now a solid piece. I wonder why that is. Alright, so almost open this. Try this side, be very careful. You're working with a really fragile connector over there, so don't pry too much when you don't need to. Now just peel it off. Okay, see that? Peels off. Okay, I'm in. So you can see this is a Kapton tape over here. I don't know why they taped it here. Let's get it off. Weird. It's taping it. I guess it gets hot over here? Yeah. Probably. This is where the power module is at. Okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut a little. This is a larger board of iPad mini. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut a little piece on here. I'm gonna cut this frame and then pry it open so you can see what's underneath the frame. It's kind of obstructing our view. Let me get the scissor. I wonder where I put that. Oh, there it is. Ah, it was hiding on my desk the whole time. I just bought this because I took my other ones elsewhere. Now again, I'm in the location that I barely have tools. So, okay, so basically this is a micro cutter. So it's like an electronic cutter for microelectronics, service board stuff. Okay, so let's get back to here. So remember I said I want to cut this, so now I can. This is very good. It's flat. What you want to, it's like a flat surface on one side, and it cuts metal really easily with this. Okay, it's great for these friends. You can cut them and peel them off easy. I'm thinking how I want to do this. I'm gonna do it from the side, but what do I want to say about this? You can also, if you have no access to this doesn't cost that much. It costs less than $10, I think, and give or take, depends where you buy it. You can use the nail clipper. You know, one of those nail clippers looks like this. I've seen people use nail clipper before, but if you have the choice, use this. Don't use the nail clipper. It's not designed for cutting flat straight lines. I'm gonna be very careful because I'm doing this right on top of the backlight chip. Do I want to do it over there? Probably. No, I'm just gonna cut it from the side and then take it off that way. Yeah. Okay, see, I just made a cut like that. Very easy. You don't need too much force. Cut. And if you want, you can cut it this way as well, just on this side. There we go. And let's see. Okay, no damage. Give it that. Okay, so now the frame is lifted up. You can see what's underneath. So as I expected, well, obviously this is the CPU. Let's get this. See the A5 chip. See, that's the CPU. And put the heat. This is the heating transfer pad. So it's like a little heat conductor that conducts this to the heatsink. This, which doesn't. I'm sure it's not that not much to evaporate the heat anyway. So what you see here is let me see if you can focus a little more. Well, you see over here, this is SanDisk. So this is the let me get something that's bigger. Alright, so this is the memory for iPad mini. This is the A5 processor. It's same as iPad 2. This is the Apple, well, it has an Apple logo on it, but this is the power module, the main power controller IC. So all the power distribution goes from here. I will say, if you want to use an analogy in medicine, this will be the brain of the logic board, and this will be the heart of the logic board, where the power is being distributed. So this, to me, this is more important than the processor itself. This IC, this coil, 2R2, this big coil it's everywhere. It's in iPad 2, iPad 3, iPad 4. It has something to do with the power regulation. It connects from the USB power, and then it links to here. It goes to this coil, and then it communicates between the power module and the USB and the battery. So it connects all, like, it has something to do with the power regulation. But particularly right now, I don't remember like the details of it, how to get the schematics and look at it. But I don't really. It has something to do with the USB power. This is the 4R7. I have these on sale on our store. This is the 4R7 iPad backlight coil. You know how like the 3GS is the 6RA coil? Well, this is the same concept. You have the power module, you have the backlight coil, and this is the 4R7 coil. This is the backlight chip or backlight IC. Depends how you like to name it. I call it backlight chip because it's really not an integrated IC, but it's the equivalent of the backlight IC in 3GS iPhone. It's the same concept. Let me get some more of these friends off. So once you make a little opening like this with your nail cutter or that tool I have, you can really just peel this off outside. Like instead going up, you peel outside and just use by hand. It's very easy. You can peel this off easy, without too much difficulty by hand. Because they use like lead-free solder. And problem with lead-free solder is like it can be very fragile. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So that's it. There's no other parts on iPad mini logic board that has any surface mount components. It's really just this region. Okay, I take it back. iPad mini, it is not a prototype of iPad 2. It is a derivation of iPad 2. It used almost the same parts. All these you can find in iPad 2. Like this coil is in iPad 2. The same power module is in iPad 2. Obviously this processor A5 is from iPad 2. Memory, I think this is different. This is SanDisk. It's it says SanDisk on it. So this is a new memory, and this is made in China. This is something to do with the power from the power distribution, and there's a bunch of coils over here, a lot of capacitors. Yeah. Other than that, well, there's a light coil, like backlight chip, yeah, backlight chip, and that's from iPad 2 as well. So everything is I can see is from iPad 2. I do not see the small 4R7 coil that's responsible for touch. That's probably because the touch function it's inside. It's different. It's made in here. The touch board is in here, so I don't see anything that does touch on this board. Nope. I don't see it. I see a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with power, and stuff over here like this chip. This is for Wi-Fi. And there's something under here. I don't know what's in there. I don't think I can take it out because that's soldered on, and I don't want to have to solder that off and then put it back altogether. Yeah, so you have two connectors here, a bunch of little filters and fuses, and there are some coils, and this is I'm surprised there's no Wi-Fi radio switch. Okay, so this is one of the switch for the radio frequency for the Wi-Fi. It's kind of important. If you miss this, then you'll have a Wi-Fi signal. And then you go through these two antennas. And I think they have separate route. One goes in this way, and the other one goes in that way. And it goes into the, this is the Wi-Fi IC, I guess. I don't know what's underneath it. I think it's a one chip. It's an IC chip. It's all integrated now. It's like instead of having a whole board populated with stuff, they use integrated chip that has all the stuff inside the chip. That's pretty much it. Not much to look at. This is the iPad Mini, larger board. This is where all the good stuff is at. Yeah. Not much a looker. So you can cut these and take it out, but I'm gonna just put it back once I'm done. Okay, so this is the larger board, and that's the A5 processor. Okay, so as always, I'm gonna do like a really quick sweep on the parts. Let's see if we can get focused. Focus. Okay. So now I can see the memory chip, the processor, the A5 processor, the power main module, and all the other populated components for the power circuits, the battery connector, the Wi-Fi module IC, the LCD screen, the bigger one, LCD screen connector, a touch screen connector, digitizer connector, smaller one, and so this is the LCD. Touch screen, LCD touch screen, and this is the lightning connector that's solder glue onto the larger board. Okay, so this is iPad Mini larger board. Tear down. On the back side is not much to look at. There's a lot of these points. These solely exist for quality control. Once they reflow this larger board from this side, they use like testers on this side to test each connection, see if the soldering was perfect. There's no like cold joints or missing bridging joints and all that stuff. And these parts, and this is like conductive cloth. These are areas that you touch the back frame metal part. These are grounding parts that grounds the larger board. Okay, so that's it. That's pretty much it. Well, we're done with the larger board. Whoa. Okay, nothing broken. Don't worry. We'll find out later. Okay, that's done with. Good. Now, let's get into whatever that's left, which is not all that interesting, in my opinion, compared to the larger board itself. They did a pretty good job. I mean, that larger board is very simple. I wish they could. Pretty good. Alright, so tweezers maybe? Yeah, tweezers is better to show you. Okay, so this is the back camera. It's the same as iPad 4. It's the, let me see if I can move it. I thought it's glue on, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's stuck in there. I don't know how to get it off. Not important right now, but this is the 5 megapixel back camera. It's a nice iPad 4. I'm not gonna. I did this. I removed this part in iPad 4. I'm not gonna do it here. This is just a cover, and it has a ribbon cable underneath. You can take these 2 screws off, 1, 2, and you can change the volume button underneath here and the hold button, and also the power button is underneath here. And this, I don't know if you can see now here. There's 1 and 2 screws holding the power button in place. You can take these off without without touching the back camera. You can just leave it in place. If you want to take this out and change the power button, it can be done. It's a little casing model number for the case. And back here, again, like I said, there's 2 Wi-Fi antennas, 1 and 2. One goes to here. This is the one antenna on top of the speaker. This is the speaker. And the speaker gets its power through here. It's connected to the here. Remember we said there's a screw over here that's insulated. It's connected to the lightning connector and goes to the track and then to the power to the logic board this way. Because I don't see any other hole that could allow speaker to get through. Yeah, and this is the other. This cable is for Wi-Fi. Second Wi-Fi antenna. This one is bigger, so I guess it receives more signal. But then again, this one goes longer, so the signal gets dissipated and weaker. And I guess that justifies the bigger size. This is smaller but closer to the logic board. Okay, so that's pretty much it. It's 2 speakers, 2 Wi-Fi antenna. This is a lithium battery markings. As always, it's Chinese and English written on it, and if you translate the Chinese, it tells you that it's a lithium battery, is made in China, and its voltage is blah blah blah, and its stable voltage is blah blah blah. Well, it's 3.72 volt. It's the stable voltage. Its maximum voltage is 4.3 volt. Okay, so in the model numbers, and it's America, Apple company model numbers. So that's what the Chinese is saying. Plus and minus sign, and so if you buying batteries, you want to look for this kind of logo because this is genuine battery. But if you're buying from China, chances are you're getting a knockoff battery anyway. They're probably all the same, but you know, sometimes people find genuine battery on the market. Okay, so this is starting from here. This is the camera cable, ribbon cable and connector. This is the other one goes to down here. This one goes to the audio jack cable, and there's 1 screw over here. You can slide the audio jack down. This is taped down onto the frame, so you can just peel it off with a credit card. And as you can see, nothing on the side has been damaged when we took it off with credit card. Everything works. Okay, so that's it. Just 1 screw over here, 2 screw over here, no screw on this camera, and 2 screw over here as far as I can see. And 4 screw over here that I haven't taken off. All the screw over here are removed. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inside. Instead of the screw goes in here and the screw goes in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 3 more screw over here I haven't removed. 1, 2, 3. It really is just holding the. It's holding the antenna, and I'm pretty sure well, maybe also the speaker, but the speaker is really taped on, so you can just again slide your credit card in and then take it off. You might be able to get this battery off without too much damage to it, but again, I don't recommend you to change the battery for no good reason. I'll just take it off for fun, because it's very thin and it's very fragile. It's pieces of layers and layers of lithium battery. And it's very fragile. It's toxic, so don't poke a hole in it. It emits toxic gas. What else? Yeah, you don't want to mess with this unless it's broken. Then what you want to do is you want to use heat gun from the back of the case, heat it up, make the adhesive melt a little bit, and slide a credit card in and just work your way down and get it open. It can be down, but since this is a new battery, there's no point for me to do that. It's a simple thing to do, but it's very risky from damaging the battery and potentially it'll just destroy it. So if you know the battery is bad, then no problem. You just break it and take it out and put a new one in. Yeah, so that's it. On the side of the case, you have similar design as iPad 2 and iPad 3, iPad 4. You have the volume button, home button, the 5 megapixel camera that we can't get it out because it seems to be glued in, and the power button. The microphone is over here, so I guess the microphone and the phone camera is together. Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah. Like every other iPad. And you got the audio jack. Nothing over here. You probably have a SIM card slot, but this is the Wi-Fi model, so it doesn't have any. And speaker on both sides. Makes sense. Speaker on both sides. And the missing lightning connector that's soldered onto the logic board. Over there. See? Alright. It goes in here. Okay, so that's it. That's our teardown review. Thank you for watching. I might start to reassemble and put this video together. I might not. You could just have to watch. If not, thank you for watching this teardown review of iPad mini. It has a very elegant design of the logic board. I think I take it back. It's not a prototype of iPad 2. It's just a very cheap iPad 2. A ingeniously designed, cheaply made, but ingeniously designed. Thank you for watching. It's similar to an iPhone 5. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye. And bye. Okay, so in case you haven't left the video, I'm gonna continue and put. Actually, no, I'm gonna play with the logic board a little bit. I'm gonna do some soldering and test some components on here, and I'm gonna take something out and put something back. And just want to find out where the backlight track goes. And yeah, so I guess this is it for our teardown. I'll make another video for when I assemble everything back together and show you that it works and I did not destroy this from soldering. So, bye bye now. Bye. 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 Bye.